So this is my update for week 36. So last week I've been just doing some client work, which was working on the emails and then going to classes. And it's been a little slow, but I'm just like recently finishing the market research. And now all I have to do is just write out the emails. And then I feel like I just need to start like squeezing out every minute out of the day because I feel like it's definitely possible to be outreaching, doing client work, school work, working out, and like studying copy with all the time in the day. But yeah, that's all I have for this update. And now I'm going to answer some questions that I've been getting asked. Okay, so I've been getting some questions and wanted to answer them here for you guys. And I also wanted to show you the outreach message that landed me the client. I think I already showed it before. Maybe I haven't, but I'll still show it. So the first DM I sent him was a story reply with free value up front. And I sent the story reply because this takes you like right to their primary tab. So that's like an easy way to like try and get them to see it. And I just sent them free value up front again. And if you read the message, you can see like it's almost a copy of exactly what KJ was teaching on his YouTube, which isn't what you should be doing. You shouldn't be like copying people like exact, but it worked in this case. And then I followed up the day after saying, do you check DMs? And I got no response. And then I sent another follow up another day after, and I just put a question mark. And I guess this was a lazy follow up, but it's whatever. And then after I sent it, I think his bot DM'd me since it led me to asking if his whole profile was automated. And I don't know why that message isn't showing, but yeah. And then I also mentioned his course because I thought that would get him to respond. And I was just giving these messages no time to rest, which isn't the best since you can see here, like I'm only leaving a day in between for them. And that could make you seem desperate. But 4 days later, he ended up responding and he asked me what I did. And I told him. I feel like the message that I responded with telling him what I did could be like better since it's a bit generic, but it worked since after he said that he was interested. And then I just asked for the call and offered free work, and then he easily agreed. So I sent him a Calendly link and he booked the call at 4 p.m. And at 4 p.m. he wasn't there. And I'm pretty sure that Calendly sent him a link to join, but I just DM'd him again on IG 3 minutes later with the link and he joined. Then after the call, he added me to his Slack channel and we started working. And if you want to see the sales call, it's on my 8th episode. I linked it in the description so you can check it out there if you want. And then after this, I hopped on a call to the assistant so that we could figure out what else to work on. And during the school day, because I scheduled the call to the assistant after school, I prepared an entire Figma presentation in like 20 to 40 minutes during my lunchtime because I wanted to also bring something to show them. But yeah, after that, I was just working with him for free partially. And then I eventually sent the breakup text in August since I was investing money into my skills and I was losing time to outreach because I was still doing the free work. So that's exactly how I landed him. And now I'm going to move on to some questions I was asked. So the first question is, how did I learn to do automations? So for automations, I learned how to do them in Go High Level by just looking at the previous automations my client had set up for his other products and just copying them a little bit, but changing them like for the context of the new product that I was making the automation for. And then also use YouTube and Google just to search up things. And these automations are just like SMS and emails that are sent after a lead takes action. So if they opt into a lead magnet, for example, they're going to be sent an email, SMS, and access to the offer. And then they'll also be given a tag internally that they opted in. And I also did not know how to do any of this before working with him. I learned it after since I came in only offering copywriting and he never questioned me about automations on the call. So you don't have to worry about that. What software do you use to build landing pages? So it depends because you can use free sites like card.co or system.io, but right now I'm using Go High Level because my client uses it. But if I am outreaching, however, I usually just use Google Docs. And this is a weird question because I use a white label Go High Level, but it's not like I choose to specifically, but it's just because that's what my client uses. What do you look for in a prospect? So either they have a lot of money with no following, or they have little money but with a big following, or they have both. I usually just try and go for the ones with both because they're going to pay you well if you do your job, But if they don't have a big following but lots of money, I'll still go for them because you're still going to get paid well if you can do your job correctly. And also, if they have no following with lots of money, they could pay you if your copywriting services are going to like increase their traffic and views on their media platforms. And then if they have like no money with a big following too, you can just write them copy that's gonna give them sales on a product or whatever because they have a big following. So lots of people can buy stuff from them and then they're gonna make money in the end. And then you take some of it. And then the next question would be, how can you tell how much they're making? So you can't find out the exact amount, but you can guess based off the offer that they're selling. You can also look at their traffic and also their lifestyle. So you can see if they're selling like high ticket products or if they have like a low ticket product with lots of traffic going into it. And then with their lifestyle, if they're not just flexing like rentals or other people's expensive items, that's also another indicator that they have a lot of money. What service do you provide for the client? So I'm doing copywriting, but I'm also building the funnel pages. I'm setting up the automations for those. And then I'm also doing some mini chat automations and some small tasks in Go high level, like making a typeform like survey. And I learned most of these after working with the client, so you don't have to worry about knowing it all. What do you send them in the free value? So I send them things they can implement and get a direct result off of. So the client I have, initially he had a full-on chat GPT sales page and you could see the emojis and all the words. So I fixed it up for him and then I sent it to him. And then here's another outreach I did. I haven't gone further with messaging him yet, but I saw that he had webinars with no pre-webinar emails, and I sent it to him up front because his contact info was not shared on his pages, and I also couldn't find his email. And since I already wrote those emails for him, I just sent them to him up front in an Instagram DM. So I was just sitting in his message requests, but I think because he isn't the most famous person in the world and not many people would be DMing him with nonsense due to the niches, and he was able to see my message and he responded. He liked them. He was interested in what I do. So I just responded by telling him what I did and that I did what I could with what I had. And the next thing you know, he ended up implementing them. And these are the emails he sent about his webinar. And those were the ones exactly from my Google Doc. He literally just filled in the blanks and sent them to his list. And I also chose him because I saw that in his webinars, he sold like a high ticket product that was like more than 2K. And he also had a lot of money. So I chose him and I just sent him this message. And usually outreaching like this, it would take you time since you have to opt in and wait for a webinar. But since he does like 3 or more a month, this gap was like easy to spot. And I was able to find it because I opted in with my other email and I was looking in my inbox and I received nothing. So all you have to do is just do some small research and figure out like things that your prospect can make use of. And I feel like outreach isn't that bad anymore, especially after landing a client now, because I can literally see that it works. Lastly, I've been asked if I have any tips on outreach. I'm not an outreach expert or think that I'm someone who should be giving tips on it because I don't have an easy to follow outreach system, but I'd suggest just picking 1 or 2 copywriting coaches, gurus, or content creators and following their methods. For me, for like a whole year, starting from 2022 of September, I followed Tyson 4D's method, and unfortunately, I did not land any clients. And his ways can work, but I just wasn't able to get any results. But I learned a majority of what I know now about copy from his copywriting course. So then this year, when I started documenting, I chose KJ, and I followed his exact methods and saw results quickly. Like after one DM I sent, a prospect asked to hop on a call, but eventually he never followed through on that. And now I just use a mix of KJ's method and one of my mentors, Arestus's methods. So yeah, that's all that I have for this week, and I'll see you guys next week. It feels like weird giving this advice since I'm not even far ahead, but I guess I would say I'm like level 2 in regards to copy progress since I've been paid, but I'm not making that much. But yeah, I'll see you guys next week.